The System and Client-Created Calculations displayed on the Local Currency tab of the Consolidation Process screen are executed against the entity currency data of the Level 0 members of the Entity Total Consolidation Dimension member except for the Translated Currency Input member. This data is common to all instances of an entity member that resides in more than one branch of an entity hierarchy. The opening balance carry forward rule carries forward the opening balance from the closing balance of the prior period for both Level 0 and parent entities. The Properties tab displays the consolidation dimension members to which the system rule is applied. By default, the prior period closing balance is carried forward to the opening balance of the same scenario. However, this can be modified to carry forward the closing balance of a different source scenario for the first period of each year. In this example, the actual data of the last period for each year is carried forward not only to itself but also to the forecast scenario. The Description tab provides a description of the purpose and logic of the system rule. The Calculate Movement System rule is an optional rule that is based on the movement and account dimension settings. You can configure the Level 0 members of FCCS movement subtotal of the movement dimension as the calculated movement member for one or more accounts. You can then configure accounts to calculate the current period movement based on a closing balance input amount. The calculated movement amount is posted to the selected default movement for that account. You can apply a global default movement to be used whenever an individual Level 0 account has not been assigned a calculated movement member. The Calculate Movement System rule can be enabled or disabled anytime. A custom calculation rule is created by the administrator of the application. These insertion point rules are executed in the sequence in which they are displayed on the screen. The After Opening Balance Carry Forward rule will execute after the Opening Balance Carry Forward rule and before the Equity Pickup rule. Final calculations will be executed after the balance sheet rule and before ratio calculations. The Equity Pickup System rule will be available if Equity Pickup has been enabled for the application. Once enabled, the rule can be turned on or off. The movement members used when posting to the Equity Pickup asset and revenue accounts can also be modified. For the Equity Pickup rule to execute, the configurable consolidation rules needs to be deployed from the Consolidated tab of the Consolidation Process screen. The balance sheet rule force balances the balance sheet at the Entity Input Consolidation Dimension member. Any unbalanced balance sheet data is balanced by a system-generated entry to the FCCS balance account under Miscellaneous Liabilities. Balance the balance sheet can be disabled on a scenario-by-scenario basis. Generally, the actual scenario would not be force balanced, but the forecast and budget scenarios might be. Two ratios are calculated at the end of the local currency process: Days Sales in accounts receivable, Days Sales in inventory. These ratios are calculated after the client-created final calculations are run. They are calculated on a rolling basis over a full year, either 12 or 13 periods, depending on the configuration of the application. The ratio calculations can be disabled temporarily on a scenario basis to help improve consolidation performance. To learn more, visit docs.oracle.com.